drive them goddamn school buses.
Man, them bitches thought I was a race car driver. I go back there and pick them kids up. Some of the parents say, I don't know, I want my kid to get on that bus or not. I'm coming in that bitch with that bitch to the bottom. I burned up about 2 tanks of gas a day. They fucked up when they told me, said, wherever you go, you take the bus with you. Shit, I be all on the block and everything with that motherfucker. You know wherever I get in with some gas on them, I got that radio up there on the ass. Thump! Huh?
You already know who it is and what it is. Your boys in the building. You dig, back at y'all with another one tonight. We got some special guests in the building. Little switch up. It ain't your regular everybody just talking about whatever. We gonna get y'all a treat tonight. Something real, something that can help you out in your life, something that can help you move forward. You know what I'm saying? If you're willing to use the advice, you know what I'm saying? We know it's a lot of people. This shit gonna go in one ear and out the other, but to the 3 people that, you know, feel to utilize it, you know what I'm saying? This shit can help you out just to get you right. You already know who I am, what it is. I don't need the love. Just show the podcast the love. More than anything, go like, subscribe, hit the YouTube channel. Good looking at everybody out there rocking with the podcast. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? A lot of good people been reaching out, showing love, sending their music. So you already know, keep getting to it, man. We working. And to my left, I got my cousin in the building.
Hey, what's going on, man? My name is Moom, Eric, Moom, Vic. I'm from Boston. Yeah.
He's here. He's in the building.
I'm in the building, man. You know,
I'm in the building too, Rob Griffin. Here to show support and piggyback on whatever I can add value to.
You dig? That's one of them niggas that don't act smart, that's smart. You know what I'm saying? You know how them niggas fake it on you. They know what you talking about, just be listening to you like, all right. But yeah, yo, we here to talk about things to help clean up your credit, you know what I'm saying? How you could start looking into getting your first home if you ready, if you've been pre-approved, or you have the money, or you're just looking right now. You know, that's some of the things we gonna touch up on. Some of the things that gear you up far as like just getting you prepared into going. You know what I'm saying? And this is not the deep information, but this is just borderline to get you there. You know what I'm saying? If you're a person that's thinking about it, sitting on it, don't really want to do it, you're looking for somebody to reach out that you can feel comfortable with. Moom, he's one of them dudes you can reach into. He kind of got the same background as everybody else, been through the same shit everybody else been through, so he definitely a dude you can reach out to and it'll make you feel right at home.
I don't think. My fault. Now, I don't think I got to mention what it is that I do before I get any questions asked. But I'm a real estate professional out of Dorchester. I work out of Georgia and I work out of Rhode Island as well, just to get that out there. So, what you guys hear today, use it, definitely use it. Because if you don't, it makes no sense to watch this episode. I'm just being 100. So use it.
Nah, that's real, because we know so many people that don't use the information. You know what I'm saying? Spend all that time getting the game, not to utilize the game. You know what I'm saying? And I tell dudes, that's why I really feel we will walk you to the pavement. We're not even going to walk you to the door yet, because to walk you to the door, you got to show you ready to go to the door. I do believe what you want, you will pay for. You know what I'm saying? And if you want it bad enough, then you're willing to pay for that game, that advice. You know what I'm saying? Because people think advice is just given. We were just talking about that last night, you, my family. And I feel like if I wanted to come and get some game, I would come with trying to watch and figure it out first. So many people just call you and want the information. Yo, Moon, I'm thinking about getting a house next year. Yo, how can I do it? And they just want you to give them your time, not understanding your time is valuable.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I be trying to tell people that, yo, take people to lunch. Yo, come through, help people in their office. Like, it's different ways you can get game other than accent. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit is not free. People had to go through and learn shit that they didn't know to get this game.
That's true.
You know what it is too? Like, for example, I want you to finish this. The way I'm gonna start this phrase. Most people believe knowledge is what?
Power.
Power.
Yeah.
The truth is, like you just said in the beginning, knowledge itself is information. When you apply the knowledge, that's when it becomes power.
That's when it becomes power. That was powerful right there. No bullshit. And that's what I was trying to say, because so many people get this information and don't do shit with it, just sit on the couch with it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we're looking for people that is trying to utilize the information, that's really trying to go to the next point. You know what I'm saying? So to y'all people, that's the people that we're kicking it with. You know what I'm saying? Strap in. We're about to take y'all on one.
Come ride with us for a second. You know?
dig? Put your seatbelts on. So let's get into it. First thing I want to ask you, like, what is credit? Like, what is credit?
Well, man, by definition of me, credit is your character, right? Like, people look at your credit, or, you know, depending on what you plan on using your credit for, right? People look at that and they kind of determine what your character is like, right? So if you want to be literal, credit is just a profile that shows your payment histories. That's essentially all it is. Your payment histories, that's what credit is, you know. And you can apply that in any fashion, right? If you want to talk about literal things like, hey, you asked me to borrow $1, I'm going to give you that $1. I'm going to expect that $1 back. Next time you come back to me and ask for $1, I'm like, nah, you still owe me $1, bro. Your credit's not good with me right now. So you take it on that smaller scale, and then you can make it, it's micro there. You can put it on the macro scale from there, and you can see how lending institutions, how banks that, you know, give you money for cars, you know, auto loans, things like that, credit card institution, any institution there is. That's the bigger scale. They're going to look at what your payment history is like, which is linked to your social security number. You know what I'm saying? And your name and your whole profile. So credit is used to determine what kind of character you are. That's essentially how it goes. You know, I mean, would you agree?
I respect that.
Yeah.
How do you feel like is credit better than cash, or cash better than credit?
Man, this is my. Some people may be mad with my answer to this, but it all depends on your situation, right? Like, if you have a whole lot of cash, you may not need credit. And we're just gonna be real with you, right? But for the majority of the people on this planet, credit is better than cash, right? Because you can leverage that credit to get more cash, but the cash you get, you would want that cash for all investment purposes. Right, you don't want to use your credit to get cash so you can go and be flashy. You want to use that credit to get that cash so you can put it into something else that's going to make you more money, so you can pay that credit back and still continuously have cash coming in for you.
Right.
You know, so credit's better than cash for the most part, unless you got
I mean, even if you got a whole lot of money.
Hey, yo, no bullshit, right? I was going to say that. First time I ever been out the country, right? I left. I had, you know, nice thing of money on me. That's it. When I get to the place, they was like, yo, we don't take cash.
Right.
Cash was no good, damn near nowhere I was. Like, you had to have a card. And that was the first time I knew that shit was major. I'm like, damn, they don't take cash, like nothing. Like, for you to get food, drinks, whatever it was like, yo, card or your room number.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, like, cash is no good here, you know what I'm saying? Because we live with that cash is king. But it's places you go, that cash shit don't even matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think people need to get hip to that, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't know that.
Right. No, I mean in the sense of, if you're like a billionaire,
Right.
credit means nothing. And I know that's extreme, but that's essentially what it is. That's
Shit,
why
we on our way.
We on our way, bro. We
on our way to
man.
that
I'm not
day.
quite there yet.
Whoa.
I'm on my way.
It's coming, baby.
I'm on my way. But no, like credit for the majority of us. You know what I mean? Me included. Majority. If you know somebody, you got their phone number on a first name basis. Credit's important to them, for them as well, right? Like, it's very few people where credit isn't too important, because, you know, at least personal credit. They can still leverage their business's credit.
Right.
So credit is still going to be important, but, you know, we're going from personal to business. personal credit is important to every single person, at least that I know, for the majority of people.
Right.
Then you got people, like I said, who's just filthy rich and they can leverage their business credit. But yeah, nah.
So how?
To piggyback on the reason why I was saying what I was saying in regards to credit is important is better because like what you and I spoke about a few months ago as far as utilizing your credit card everyday usage.
Absolutely.
Instead of using your debit card.
Absolutely.
So, I think we're going to talk about that as well. But when you use your credit card on the everyday usage, it's actually building your credit a lot faster than using your debit card. Mm-hmm. So even if you do have $100 million in the bank, I'm pretty sure the majority of them are walking around with a black card because it's also insured. They don't have to worry about someone swiping their card numbers and making a crazy purchase and them having to be responsible for it. Nah, that credit card company is responsible for it at that point when they report it.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. 100 million. Pfft, that's nothing.
So how do I know I have bad credit?
So you can't get a loan.
Essentially, yeah, when you can't get a loan, you know you got bad credit. I mean, bad credit is all right, so there's this thing out there, right? There's this company that people make an account for, right? And I ain't gonna say the name. But you know, there's companies out there that you can make an account for, so you can see what your credit is, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not an actual depiction of what your credit is, right? It's how can I say, man? It's
an estimate.
It's an estimate, right? Credit can be a lot lower, it can be a lot higher, but people go on there to kind of get an idea of what their credit is, and on there you can see, you know, what kind of accounts you have, right? And you being the person who has, I'm gonna be real, you being the person who has, you know, that wants to know what your credit score looks like, you know if you've been making payments or not on whatever it is you took a loan out for, or whatever type of line of credit you have, right? You got, whether you have revolving credit or you have installment credit, like, you know if you've been making payments or not, right? So if you know you've missed a couple of payments, you know your credit is not good, for that matter, right? You miss one payment, that can be a huge blow on your credit. You can lose 50, 100 points for missing one payment on a credit card, car note, mortgage. You just know. You know what I'm saying?
What is so what would be like a bad credit score? Like what? Like a 450, 500?
450 is like, that's better than bad. You know what I'm saying?
450 is bad.
It's better than bad, man. Right? So like, realistically, how it's different levels, right? Even everybody wants a 700, but that's considered like, you know, just good credit. You know, that's just fair, good credit. You know what I'm saying? Realistically, you want to get to the 740 and up.
Right.
But 700, you know, that's okay. You know, that's fair. But then you get like to anything below 680, you know, things start to tank. And you get to the 640, it's anything 640 and below, you know, it's considered like, you know, subprime credit. You know, your credit is not good. And with a 640, you still can get things,
right,
but you ain't gonna have the best rates. You know what I'm saying? That's for anything. That's for a car note. You know, I know you guys know people when it's tax time. You know, they go finance a car. They got terrible credit, and the interest rates like, you know, 16% for a car. Right. That's crazy.
Right.
It's because they got bad credit. If they had good credit, chances are they have a way low interest rate. They may not even have to make a down payment on their car, right? And a little sauce for y'all as well. So even when it comes to cars, like, yo, we're not obligated to actually have to put down a down payment for cars if you're getting financed through a lender.
Right.
We're not obligated, man. There's laws that are a part of the Fair Credit Reporting Act that would tell you that we're not obligated to make a down payment for a car that we already have financed to us. It's a whole nother story, though. I got somebody perfect that can break down all of that for you. I'm pretty sure at the end of this episode we can get their contact information inside the link.
No, definitely, because I think that's something dudes don't know. You know, a lot of people that go to even deal with cars, dudes go with trying to put $5,000-$10,000 down on a V, and I always said that too. Like, it don't make no sense if you've been approved for $20,000, the car 20,000. What the hell am I giving y'all 3,000 for?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what I was asking you about the crib thing, like, because I just found out, like, when you give them that 3,000, that shit didn't go towards that car. Like, that was just like a pocket thing. You know what I'm saying? When that's what I was saying about a house. Like, if a house is 210, you put down 100. Is it 100 taken out the crib?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just own the 110 on the gate.
Right. No, that part we didn't get to that part. But yeah, no, definitely. If you put down 100, most of it at least is gonna be attributed to that total amount, right? That 250. So if you put down 100, and let's say you got to pay closing costs, there may be points. It all depends on what kind of loan you get, right? But most of that 100 is gonna go towards it. So you're gonna knock down, a lot of that principal from the 250.
Right.
Yeah, and principal for y'all who's watching and may not know what that is.
I was going to ask you what's that.
Right. Principal is the amount.
I ain't in school no more.
Nah, we good. Principal is the amount, right? So if a house costs $250, that's the principal amount. That's the amount, $250. And if you're making payments, like mortgage payments or car note payments, some of it's going to be going towards that principal amount, that $250, and some of it's going to be going towards interest. Most of it's going to be going towards interest. At least the beginning stages of the loan is going to go towards the interest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So principal is the actual amount, and then you have interest. So that's principal.
So say if I do got 620, what would be my first step of getting my credit in a okay place?
Well, what I suggest is, I know I spoke of one of those accounts that you can create one of those apps that you can create an account for, so you can see your credit report. You can do that, but I would suggest going to a website to see your full credit report, to see what's on there, because for one, you'd want to get your credit score up. 620, you can still get approved for a loan, but it's going to be terrible rate, like I said, you know what I'm saying, and you probably won't get approved for too much, because there may be things on your credit report that's showing, like, there's different factors in order to buy a home, right? And we'll touch on that as well. But the first thing you want to do is see what's on your credit report. You got a 620, see what's on your credit report. You go to annualcreditreport.com. See your whole credit report for free. You see your TransUnion, you see your Experian, and you see your Equifax. Full report. And then from there, you can determine what needs to be done. Okay, look, I have missed payments here. I have these 3 collections right here. These 3 collections right here could be a very, very big reason as to why my credit is at a 620. Right. I get these 3 collections removed, which you can. I get these 3 collections removed. I may go from a 620 to a 690, maybe even a 710 instantly because of these 3 collections. But you got to know where you're at to see how to get to where you got to go, right? So you have to see your credit report. That's the first thing.
So first and foremost is looking and seeing where you at. You know what I'm saying? And then you could kind of adjust from there to know what you need to have taken off or what you need to step up on and pay on.
Absolutely. Yep. Definitely, you got a 620. If there's an account that you've been making on-time payments with, don't stop making on-time payments with them, right? Keep making your on-time payments with them even while you're trying to look and see what's on your credit report, right? You can see that you have collections. You can see that you have some charge-offs, maybe a repo, whatever it is. Cool. Now you know what you got. But if you have an account that you've been making on-time payments with, continue making those on-time payments, man, because that's a crucial factor as well. You don't want to fall behind.
Yeah, before we get too far off, what about the people that have no credit, like just don't have credit, just, never thought about getting anything in their name as far as, like, a credit card or any of that?
Right.
How would they go towards credit?
So again, I said I would likely send them to this company that I deal with personally, that I refer people to, and they always come back to me ready to buy a home because of this person. But what this person would likely do is they would set this person up with an authorized user account, right? So what I would suggest is, and for y'all who don't know, to be an authorized user of an account, you're essentially asking somebody or paying somebody. But if you know anybody who has a credit card, right, that's been having on-time payments, never missed a payment, and let's say it has some age to it, right? Let's say, for instance, let's say you have no credit, and I have a credit card that's 12 years old. never missed a payment. And you're like, hey, cuz, look, I have no credit. How can I get started and get some credit? This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to put your name on my credit card to say that this credit card belongs to you as well. You're an authorized user of this card. Right. And by being an authorized user, what it shows the bank that I got the card from is you make payments with the card and you pay the bill on this card as well. Even though you don't. Right. But it's going to say you have, and it's going to say that you've been doing it for the whole 12 years that I had the card. You inherited basically like the good that come with it. Now, if I miss a payment with that card though, the next month, that's gonna go on you as well. Right.
So you gotta inherit the good and the bad.
Right. But you gotta make sure whoever you're dealing with is somebody who's like, listen, what they care enough about their credit. Somebody like me. Right?
And that's something that I was gonna ask you too. In this space, when it come to credit, real estate, how do you find trustable people? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you vet a motherfucker to make sure this person is official, what they saying is official? Right. You know what I'm saying? Because now where we come from, shit, you got 100 street scholars that know some shit about some shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you vet people to be like, you know, I could deal with this person or don't deal with this person? Because a lot of people don't know who's official with credit, who's official realtor. You know what I'm saying? So they wouldn't even know how to, you know, even look me up to see that I'm a real realtor. You know what I'm saying? So how would you suggest people go about that when it comes to putting that trust, your name, your social, all that into a person?
Well, to piggyback on that, people do business with individuals that they like first. So, like, for example,
I learned not to do that shit no more. Fuck if I like you.
So what I mean is that it gets you in the door. So, for example, right, like I meet you, we're having a good conversation, and during the conversation, like, you know what, I like them. Then the conversation gets deeper. Then we do, like, small business somewhere down the line.
Right.
Now I can trust them.
Right.
Then when you can trust and you like a person, it's not about the love part, but once you're able to like someone, you open the door to build a level of trust. Once you build the trust, that's who you do business with. So that's like most cases. Deals don't get closed for a long time because I might like you, but I need that history to build the trust before I put my signature on a piece of paper.
Shit, bitches got history with me, trusted me. Them bitches still don't get no bread. They get no money back. You know, once you make this deposit, this shit's me.
And that's pretty much what it's like, a gut feeling. Once you like somebody, it opens the door to build like a trust factor.
But then you gotta see that person's track record as well. You know what I'm saying? So like, you gotta see their track record.
So should you look at like what they doing, the person talking like motherfucker selling you something, you should also look at, well, what are you doing in that field? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody, you hit the nail on the head when you like this. Everybody's a street scholar now. You got 1 million of those out here.
Million.
Everybody know how to fix credit. Everybody know how to, you know, everything. Everybody can do everything, man. Look, I teach you how to
went
trade.
To the 6th grade. Now this nigga know how to fix credit.
Right.
Like, it be goofy. Like, this shit, like, yo, we be knowing niggas was on a slow bus. This nigga know, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you be looking like, yo, come the fuck on, man. That's why I'm saying, like, it's hard for us on top of that to look at each other and put that trust in each other.
That's tough, though. 'Cause in the same aspect, you would want someone, you got a whole podcast.
Right.
I just seen you hook up all this equipment. Right. That may have not been your lane growing up, but I don't know how to do none of that stuff. Right. So I gotta still believe that where you're talking about, you know what you're doing. Right. Sometimes you gotta give people the benefit of the doubt until they mess up.
Right.
And it's in the process, like, it's important to be paying attention because we're up here talking about the same, like, these different things. And we all took the time to learn it at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta give people the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, there's a lot of, I know, like, jack of all trades, but a jack of all trades is better than a jack of nones because at least I know a little bit of something to put me in a different direction.
Right. Shout out Johnny, wherever you at. That's one of her tats. Master of all trades. Jack of all trades, master of none. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be doing that, but I be telling her as too, you gotta master something. It's cool to know a lot of shit, but at something, you gotta be a master at it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I be looking at it. So if I have no credit, would it be wise for me to get a gas card? You know, because you hear a lot of people use that. Yo, get you a gas card. That should have. You would be good in like 90 days.
So now before we touch on that, I did want to go off what you were saying too, really quick. You can deal with somebody that you like, but track record is important, bro. Right? The track record is essentially the credit. Like that's what I'm saying. You look at this from a micro scale, you look at this from a macro scale. And I'm gonna be like I'm a transparent person, whether it's with family, for anybody. If I'm accessible to you and you can reach me, I'm gonna be transparent. That's how I am as a person. So me being as transparent as I am, track record means everything. Cause you've been holding it down with this podcast for a little while now. And I'm real. Initially, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna show love if cuz is serious with this. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that, by showing love, is like, yo, you need me to share this, you need me to post, you need me to do this, you need me to do that. Generally, people would expect that you have to do this because we're related. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not necessarily the truth to me. You know what I'm saying? Because like this could be something that you just did because you decided to do it on the whims. But now you're like, yeah, I'm done with this. I want to go do this now. I want to go do this now. Bro, I just invested 2 hours helping you set this up and do this and do that, bro. And it gets frustrating for the next person.
That's what in the beginning, that's how I was looking at it. Like, yo, it's fucked up. Niggas don't. But I said, see, this is the one thing I want people to take from that too. Sometimes when you look at other people, don't look at other people, look at yourself. Mm-hmm. Because I was able to tell myself that, yo, you start a lot of shit and stop shit. You would jump into another bag. You know what I'm saying? Soon as something even look like it's a situation, fuck that shit. You know, so I had to look at that like, yo, people are looking if you're really going to do this. You know what I'm saying? And now I see, like you said, the track record make people want to deal with you.
Absolutely.
Okay, I've seen you been doing this shit now for a minute. You're really just going hard. Yep. Now I can deal with you on it.
Right.
Because I didn't want to come in. Now I put myself into some shit that you don't even believe in or you're not even dealing with. So with that, I think a lot of times we have to look inside ourselves and see those little mess ups too. You know what I'm saying? Because we look for that in other people. You know what I'm saying? But without looking at ourselves and the shit that come with us. You know what I'm saying?
We have to, man. Because like, yo, it matter what it is, what you do. Like, yo, for me, and I'm gonna answer the question about the credit too. But like for me being a real estate agent, right? And I've been incarcerated. When I decided to try to do business with people that I know personally, they know I'm no dummy. You know, I know things. I'm intelligent. Like I said, I'm transparent. So I ain't gonna try to finesse nobody that I truly love, right? So people know that, but they don't know if I truly know what I'm doing when it comes to real estate. At least they didn't. In the moment they see, you know, other people showing love to me, they're like, okay, he's serious. And I'm not mad at them from now on to come and do business with me. I had to prove myself, bro. So that's why it's like, yo, I can never be mad if, you know, nobody wants to show love to me because my credit wasn't right. My credit in terms of real estate. My credit was good everywhere else. Street, everything. But with real estate, it's like, yeah, we don't know.
Really don't.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how that go. But in order to initially build that credit, I had to piggyback off of somebody else, right? So the company that I work with right now is Thumbprint Realty. I essentially
shout out to them.
I essentially had to work for one, I had to work with them because the broker of that company, like, he kind of helped me get into the position that I'm in right now, right? For me to be able to come home early, it was a letter he wrote. For me to get off probation early, it was a letter he wrote. It made no sense for me to go anywhere else, bro. This is home. You know what I'm saying? But I had to use their name, piggyback off of their image, their success, in order for other people to want to come and do business with me. So I had no credit. So if you have no credit, you can go for the gas card. I wouldn't suggest that first because you have no credit. You may get it, you may not. Now it's a gamble. But if you piggyback, which is what we spoke a little bit earlier, which is you deal with somebody who has a credit card, all you need is one. Perfect example. Somebody I know, he had literally no score. This was 2018, the end of 2018, like December. He had no score. I put him on one of my cards, just one. And I kid you not, New Year's Day, he called me. He's like, "Did you get that screenshot?" And I'm like, "Let me check." It was early in the morning. Like, he woke up excited about this. And I checked the text he sent me. He went from a 0 to a 730. literally all within about a month and a half, on New Year's Day. So now at that point, I'm like, you lit.
Early.
Now you can apply for a credit card.
Right.
And he applied for a card. I think he got approved initially for like $3,000 or something like that. But for somebody who has no credit, to not have to get a secured card, because normally when you got no credit, they suggest you get a secured card, which is, you give them like $250 or $300, depending on which bank you use, or if you use Capital One or something like that. You put some money in an account, and they're going to give you a credit card for that same amount. You continue making on-time payments for about 6 months. They may increase it for more, but it's still secured. They're going to release the secured amount, which is the $350, and they're going to give you like an additional $350. So now you got like a $700 card instead of a $350 secured card. And then from there, you continue building credit. So you can go that route, or you piggyback.
And that's crazy. As soon as you said the shit about the secure credit card, Precious put up there, she was like, "What about a secure credit card?"
Yeah. You can go secured. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. But my only take with that is I'm going with what I know work for other people that I deal with. That's not the only person that I had added on my card that had no credit, or had bad credit, and they did some work to their credit, and it boosted their credit. Now they apply for another card, another company. Let's say Navy Federal. I don't know if you ever heard of Navy Federal.
Nah, I heard of them from you.
Yeah, Navy Federal is like that. That's the top. I'll vouch for them. If I can get endorsements for them, I'll talk about them all day. Navy Federal is like that when it comes to it. Because for real, like, all jokes aside, like, listen, I put somebody on my Navy Federal account that lives with me, right? Because literally, you have to be affiliated in order to get one of those accounts, right? You can't go online and just apply for Navy Federal. You have to be affiliated in some way, shape, or form. Either you got to be a veteran, or you got to be in the military, or you got to be a spouse of somebody from the military, or you got to be directly related, like a children or a father of somebody who's in the military,
right?
Or you have to live with somebody who's a member already.
Right.
Doesn't necessarily have to be in the military, but somebody that has to be a member. And once you're in there, I got somebody in there who lived with me, and this person literally had like a 605 credit score. That's not great. This person applied for a credit card through Navy Federal, like,
she said she got what's her name too. She said
Federal.
That's how she started with Capital One, and then she said she got Navy Federal, and she said great benefits. She said her dad was in the military, so that's how she ended up getting hip to it.
Yep, Navy Federal. I'm telling you, this person had a 605 credit score. She applied for a credit card and got Navy Federal. She ended up getting a $5,000 credit limit. Now, this is somebody who had terrible credit her whole life. Instantly, she got a $5,000 is not a whole lot, but for somebody, like, she didn't have to go the secured route to get a high limit card. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Navy Federal, man. But piggybacking, man, you can do secured. But I suggest if you know somebody, try to
jump on somebody,
jump on it. You know what I'm saying? Get your credit up, and then you can apply for your own. You know what I'm saying?
But the people that, you had them big head people that be, no, I'm going to do it myself. What do they do? Because, you got a couple of them watching. I don't want to get into it with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Secured, then. Tell them to get a secure card, then. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, if you don't want to go through.
So ain't secure basically like my money y'all giving me credit on? Like, absolutely. If I got to give y'all $350 and then my credit card's $350, what the fuck credit do I have? I don't got no credit.
Absolutely.
That shit like money in my pocket.
Yeah, you're building it. So that way.
Oh, so you got to play the build game with them. Right.
Like you said, it could take like 6 months. So where that, if, like you said, $300, $350, and during the 3 months, you miss a payment. Then you miss 2 payments because you forgot.
Right.
They already got their money.
Yeah. Money's already there.
The money's already there, so like it's not gonna hurt you as bad because the money's already there. But it's showing responsibility. That's all credit is being responsible to be able to pay something on time to create the history.
Damn, wow! That's why I ain't never had no credit. Nigga, irresponsible like a motherfucker. No bullshit.
Nah, that's the thing, man. Like I said, credit it shows your character. Even when you want to get like an apartment, right? So like I dealt with a lot of people who are looking for apartments. And I try to stick to just luxury apartments, but then, there's people who's from where I'm from, as far as like in hoods, neighborhoods that need an apartment. People send people to me all the time, and they don't really got the credit. But they want, I want a 2-bedroom in Boston for $1,800, all utilities included. It needs to be updated. Listen, sweetheart, what's your credit? Well, you see, I had identity theft. Somebody did something. That's everybody's excuse. Everybody claims that somebody did something to their credit, so now they're trying to fix their credit. But these landlords don't see that. They're like, yeah, that's nice. Good job. Your credit's not good enough. So even to get apartments nowadays, you have to have.
Nah, and that's what too. A lot of people ain't hip till they really try to get a crib. That shit matter. Getting a crib right now, like they really want to see what your credit history look like. And it's crazy you said that. Because that's what even like them when they looking at it, they looking at your history and shit, like how you been going about shit the last 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying?
If you got an account, whether it's student loans or whether it's an account, let's say you owe Comcast because you ain't, for whatever reason, you didn't pay Comcast and they, got a collections on your account. Landlord's going to see your report. They're gonna be like, listen,
this nigga got all my bills. This nigga got my bills all day.
Come on, we all had. I had that too, bro. I had that too. I'm telling you, like, yo, this everything I'm saying. I'm not a credit expert, right? Let's get that out there. I'm not a credit expert. I'm not a credit guru. I'm telling y'all my experience.
Nah, but it be shit that a lot of us go through that come from this community. You know what I'm saying?
That was my experience. Listen, Comcast. I had a voluntary surrender on the car I had right before I went in. I gave my car away, but that's technically like a repo, so that was on my account as well. I had so much stuff on my account before I went in. I had a nice credit card. I deactivated. That's the worst thing you can do is deactivate a credit card. You want to keep that history, but I deactivated right before I went in. All good payment history. If I'd have kept that card, I'd have probably had, like my history would have been, like longer than what it is now, right? But your landlord would see that you got a Comcast account that you have to pay $25 a month for. That's what you have to pay. You gotta pay $25 a month in order to get rid of the collection. They see that on the report. Right. Okay, you can't pay this $25 a month, right? What makes you think you're gonna pay this $1,800 a month for your rent? Right. That's how they look at it. Right. You're not paying $25. You're not paying your $200 minimum. What made me think you're gonna pay this $1,800 a month for this? It's literally. Your credit literally shows what your history is like. It shows who you are. It shows if you're responsible or not.
So if you was going for credit, like, would you go with a bank or a credit union? Because a lot of people be talking about that when you go into things. Get a credit union because a credit union they do more for you. You know what I'm saying? Some people be like, nah, you go to a bank. This bank does this for you. You know what I'm saying? And I always try to figure out, like, what is the good way to go if you're trying to find a bank that is good for you and the things you do. Say you do business, you trying to get a crib, whatever it could be. Like, how do you figure out that? Which one is the best for you?
Bro, I'm going credit union. You know what I mean? I think I spoke with them before. And if they was endorsing me, man, I'll talk about them all day. Damn Navy Federal, man. I'm going with the credit union. And there's other unions as well that you can deal with that are good as well. But again, as I said, I'm not a credit guru. I do know the importance of credit. I do know what has helped me get to the level of where I'm at in terms of credit and being able to leverage my credit, right? So I don't know if you'd agree, but I go with the credit union, man. And if you can't get into a decent credit union, right? And the reason why I say that is because, like, most credit unions, they're not like, big regional banks. You know what I'm saying? So they work with the community. They want to see you win. They want to help you, continue building your credit. They want to help you because they know that essentially eventually you're going to become a mortgage a customer of theirs. Right? You listen, you have our credit cards, cool. You've been making on-time payments. Hey, look, do you know that we can give you a great rate on a mortgage? And since you've been one of our clients for 10 years, we'll do like they give you bonuses because it's smaller institutions. Whereas you got places like Bank of America, Citizens, things like that are national. It's like
it's crazy you said that because that's how I really feel when I look at it. Like a credit union want to see you win. Like, it's like if you win, we win.
Absolutely.
It's like a bank look at it like, fuck no, we don't want to see you win.
Now, bank,
we want to see you keep putting this money in here. Yeah. In some way, we going to make this shit decrease. You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit, the bank's like straight robbers, but it do seem like most people that I know that went on to buy houses or it was always like, yo, I had a credit union. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that I heard somebody say I dealt with a bank. You know what I'm saying? And I done watch people build with their credit union. You know what I'm saying? Like, have a credit union and they do this and a credit union and match this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done seen different things where it seemed like a credit union is trying to help you win, trying to help you move forward. You know what I'm saying? Then it just holds you where you at or to pull you back.
Yeah.
Like a bank would be doing.
You know, somebody said this to me. I mean, it's simple, but it never registered with me before. But they said this to me like a while ago. It was like 2014 or something like that, 2013 or something like that. But we was talking about like the difference between like BJ's and Costco's and convenience stores, you know.
Right.
And you go to BJ's or Costco's, you know, you're going for this whole box of chips, you know, you're going to pay probably like, you know, $12. But if you sell all these chips, you can make like, you know, $30 from all these chips, whatever the case may be, right?
Right.
And he was like, yo, there's a reason why these corner stores are called like convenience stores, right?
Right.
It's convenient for you. So since it's convenient for you, they're going to up that price. Anything that's made easy for you, that price goes up.
Right.
So that's how you look at the banks as well too, right? Like whether it's Citizens, Bank of America, anything. Listen, we're everywhere.
Mad people sitting on their couch lost right now. Like, I never thought about convenience stores being like that. Like niggas be lost.
It's for the convenience.
Yeah, motherfuckers be lost. So when you just drop that, bad people's in their crib like, wow, like I be telling motherfuckers, you gotta use your things. Think, man. Think about this shit.
It's making things easy for you, so we're going to charge you more. And as time is going on, as y'all can see, everything's becoming more easier because of the invention, because of technology, right? So the more easier things become, the more pricier things are getting, man. I mean, I don't know if y'all see, but like, you know, even $100,000 now ain't like $100,000 was, you know, 10, 11 years ago. It's not the same, man. It's like, it's not the same. Everything is getting easier, right? But I brought this up because like the banks. Listen, there's Bank of America's everywhere. There's Citizens. There's this. There's that. Of course, like you ain't gonna deal with us. That's cool. You got for every one of you we lose, you're gonna get 5 more tomorrow that's gonna sign up with us.
Right.
Because it's convenient. But you deal with like a community bank. Some like if you're in, how can I say, like if you're in Newton or something like that, and then there's a bank that's catered to Newton residents, they're going to get a different kind of love from that Newton bank as opposed to what they would get from Bank of America. Rate-wise, even like loans, they may work more like how Navy Federal work for their people.
Right.
Before they work like how Bank of America work for because Bank of America, they're like, it's fine. We don't need you.
Right.
We going.
Yeah, because now Bank of America drop that ass in a minute.
Absolutely.
Let that account even start going under. They be like, fuck this account.
Yeah. We're gonna write this off.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Real shit.
Yep.
Like they do. So some of the ways of like even going into getting a crib, you need credit to buy a house. The average person.
Yep. For the most part. Listen, you're either gonna have a lot of money and no credit, or you gotta have some money and some credit. Right? Like I said, that's why like sometimes credit, if you can buy the house outright, you can buy it, you don't need credit, right? But that's not the case for most people, like you said. So definitely you need credit, bro.
For the basic part of a crib, right? Not the ins and outs of it, but the basic thing, like walk me through I come to you, I want to get a crib. How we move from there. So
initially, being a real estate professional that I am, I really prefer to work with people who are ready to buy. But if you're not ready to buy and you can prove to me that you're committed to me and that you will work with me so that you can be ready to buy, I will help you, right? And so let's say you're not ready to buy. Matter of fact, we're going to figure out if you're ready to buy like this. You come to me and say that you want to buy a home.
I mean, I'm ready to buy.
You come to me, you're ready to buy. You say you want to buy a home. All right, cool. This is what we're going to have to do. I got to get you pre-approved, right? Because what we can't do, we can't be like, yo, listen, I'm ready to buy, bro. I want to live in Wellesley, bro. I'm like, all right, Wellesley? Cool.
That's where Tom Brady and them be staying.
Yeah, listen, Wellesley.
Get that way, baby.
Listen, if you want to live in Wellesley, that's cool. You just got to make sure you can afford Wellesley. Because what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to take time out of my Sunday or my Tuesday night, time that I could be spending with my daughter, to go look at a $1.7 million 4-bedroom house in Wellesley, and you can't get approved for more than $400,000. Right? We're not going to Wellesley, bro. We're not going anywhere until you get pre-approved.
So the first thing is you will have to run my joint pre-approved.
it's not going to be me. So essentially, I would likely send you to. Well, I would. It's up to you. Like if you've been building that relationship with the community bank that you've been building your credit with,
right.
You would go to that community bank. That's who you built your relationship with. Go with them. They most likely will give you the best rate that you can possibly get because you've been dealing with them since you was 18, and now you're 38. You dealt with them for 20 years. You're gonna continue dealing with this community bank. They're gonna give you a good rate. Now, if you haven't and you don't have a bank that you've been dealing with that you feel like can give you a good rate, well, then I would likely send you to a loan officer so that they can actually, take you in, have you apply to see what you can get pre-approved for. And I will always suggest going through like a loan officer as opposed to just one single bank. I will always suggest going through a loan officer as opposed to going through a single bank because with the loan officer, they will basically check with multiple different banks to see what you can get pre-approved for, as opposed to if you just go to one bank, only that bank's going to see what they can pre-approve you for, right? You're going to go with the loan officer.
Right. So then once I'm pre-approved, say I was in my head, I'm doing 700 and 800 numbers, but it come back for 280.
And that's what we're going to look. 280 what it came back with. Either you got to make some more money next year.
Right.
Or add somebody on the loan with you so that it can add your money to it. So y'all money can basically be combined, right? But by doing that, the person that you add, they have to have good credit as well. Because if they don't got good credit, the bank's going to go off of their credit, not yours. So if they go off of their credit and not yours, now, you might not even be able to be pre-approved for this loan because y'all don't have the credit to be pre-approved. But yeah, so if you only approve either that, or if you only got pre-approved for 200, we got to look in areas where houses are worth 200,000.
So then say, cool, right? So they say 280, boom. Mm-hmm. You like, yo, we can't do whatever. You got to stay in this anywhere 250, 280 range. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Now say I find a crib. Say I end up finding one 270. Mm-hmm. Now what's our move?
Well, even if you get approved for, what you say, 280?
He said 280.
Be approved for 280 and you find a home for 320. If you got that 40,000 to make the difference, you can still get that home. Mm-hmm. As long as you have the money to make the difference, to bring it back down to the 280 mark that you're pre-approved for.
Off that, we're gonna put a plug in there. Somebody asked, are there programs for people with low income that are ready to buy?
Absolutely.
And I think he was just saying he the man you can reach out to if you're ready to buy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If you on deck and you are ready to buy, you can reach out to him. At the end, we going to leave his information where y'all can reach out, get at him, his email address, everything. Because he's definitely on point. He definitely know what he's doing. And this is what we doing right now. Everything we walking y'all through is exactly the move you're going to have to go through. Mm-hmm. So I was saying, cool, I found the crib. It's for 270. The bank approved me for 280. Where we go from there?
They approved you for 280. You've seen the house already. You like the house. You put in an offer. For this house. If you're approved for 280.
So how long do like offers be taken? Like when I put it in, is it something like you like, all right, cool, I'm gonna tell them we gonna put in an offer? Do we hit tomorrow? Is this a week thing, a month thing?
It's totally up to you. Listen, there's been offers that clients have put in that say, look, this offer is only, let's say for instance, you guys put an offer for this $280,000 house that hasn't even had an open house yet, that nobody has seen, and you're like, look, I don't care. We don't want to wait to the open house. We want to put in this offer for $280,000 right now, and you guys got 24 hours to respond to this offer, either accept it or deny. You got 24 hours or we're walking away. Like you can dictate, when they have to. Basically reply to your offer.
Right.
You dictate that. Normally though, about 24 hours is, what you put on your offer sheet. Hey, look, we want to answer by, 12 noon the following day or something like that. So you put that in your offer sheet.
Is that cool to do? Like if I want to do that, y'all got 10 hours. You know what I'm saying? Or is it like, because it kind of sounds like some bullying shit. You know what I'm saying?
It is. But if you know you got a good offer, and you know you want the place and you don't want no competition on it, sometimes it puts the seller in a tight spot because they like, damn, I wanted $280 for this place, and he's saying he'll back out if I don't, accept his offer within 10 hours. But I haven't even did the open house yet.
Right.
If I do the open house though, I still may be able to get $280. But what if I do the open house and the highest offer I get is $260 or $250?
Right.
I'm gonna miss out on that $280. So it kind of puts them in a tight spot.
Cool. And let's real quick then, let's backtrack because I wanted to ask you that. So cool. If the crib is $270, right? Do we bid $270 because we have $270? You know what I'm saying?
No, look. Normally, before you even put an offer on the house, right? You got $280. That's what you're pre-approved for. We set up a chance to go see the house, right? A showing. Maybe there's an open house already. Maybe they're only doing open houses, and that just means like the seller and the listing agent, which is the person who's helping the seller. They may schedule a day from when they'll have people come in and look at the house all at once because they don't want to do individual showings.
Right.
Sometimes they may have a key code where the house is vacant. I can show my client. I just get the key code number. Or we can schedule a private showing where we can go see it with that seller. But once you see the place, you can, okay, look, you have this. You have essentially all the remarks on the MLS sheet, so you can see, okay, the roof needs repairs or this needs repair. Like some things are just out there blatant that you can see.
Right.
So okay, roof needs repaired, this needs to be fixed, this needs to be fixed. I've already worked with you to say, listen, these are what comps are going for in the area that is similar to this. So for sure you don't want to go past this number right here. So you don't want to go past a certain number. You walk in the place, you see the place is not what you thought it looked like in the pictures. You don't have to put in that offer for $280. Even though you have a $280,000 pre-approval, you may be like, yeah, look, this is going to need like $40,000 worth of work. I'll tell them, $220. That's the most I'm going to go for, $220. And then, they may say, nah, look, we'll do $270. You don't have to give them what you're pre-approved for.
Right.
At all, to answer your question.
So I don't have to spend all that bread on a crib.
No, you don't have to.
So cool. Now we at the point to where they take it. All right, we take your offer.
Yep.
Now what we do?
So once the offer is taken, you have to send. Well, when you send the offer, you send an offer with a photo of the check, right? The down payment check, right? So in the offer, when you create the offer, you let them know certain contingencies. And contingency, for y'all who don't know, contingency just means like, if this happens, then this is what I want, right? Contingency is like, based on this, if this happens, this is going to happen. So for instance, example, if I do an inspection and it shows that, $70,000 worth of work needs to be done, I get to change my offer number or I get to back out of the offer without losing my deposit money. Because when you put in an offer, you normally got to give a deposit. $1,000, right?
Right.
But if you go to inspection,
so now that $1,000 come out of my pocket.
Yeah. So when you want to submit the offer, you send the offer to me. I send it to the seller's agent for you. Along with a copy of the check and a couple other documents as well. And if you told them they got 5 hours to respond, they got to respond with whatever you told them. They got to respond, and once they respond and say, "Okay, offer's accepted. We'll accept your offer at $250. Okay, cool, bam. Inside your offer, you may have, we want an inspection.
Right.
Normally, you have up to 10 days to have an inspection. If you don't do your inspection within that 10 days, you essentially waived your inspection. So
now the inspection is something that I would have to pay for too.
Yep.
So that's another thing that would come out of my pocket.
Absolutely, but it's not like your inspection ain't going to be thousands of dollars, right? Your inspection could be a couple hundred. But that's something that comes out of your pocket, inspection.
Nah, because that was something I was going to ask you too. Is like what would be coming out of because the only thing going to come out of the check would be for the crib. Mm-hmm. So a lot of this would be coming out of my pocket as well. This is one of them reasons why they tell you to have some money saved up.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
For everything else that come around from with this. You know what I'm saying? Inspection, all those type of things. Down deposit. You know what I'm saying?
So definitely, main things you're gonna have to come out of pocket for the most part, for most people, is down payment money, closing cost money, inspection money. That's the main things you're gonna have to come out of pocket for.
Tia said, never buy at your pre-approval amount. It's the top end of what you can afford based on your income, but it doesn't take into consideration your lifestyle.
Yep.
Don't be house poor.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you don't have to give your full amount.
Shout out to you too, Tia.
Mm-hmm. She's right, but yeah. So you get the inspection.
Right.
You have to get the inspection, and then depending on what happened at the inspection, maybe you've seen some things with your inspector. Right. When you first went to go see the place, you either went with me, or you went by yourself. But you seen the place. Chances are, if I'm working with you, you went with me. I ain't gonna let you go see it by yourself, right?
Right.
But you go see the place. We see some things. You know, I have a couple properties myself, so I know what to look for. And you know, if some things seem out of the ordinary, you know, the leveling's not right, something's out of the ordinary, cool, bro. Look, I think it would be like this much money to get fixed, to do this, to do that. You want to, there's, I don't know, a leak in the ceiling, you know, you got to possibly fix the roof or something like that. It may cost you around this much to get fixed. I don't know yet. You would need to have your inspector with you, but me, this is what I think it would cost for you to get fixed. And you put in your offer. Then after you put in the offer, like I said, you do the inspection. Your inspector is going to give you the detailed information on what needs to be fixed, if the place needs to be fixed. They're going to give you a detailed list. Okay, look, the siding is bad, the roof is bad, the foundation is bad or good. You know, the wiring, it's knob and tube wiring in the basement. You're going to have to get this replaced if you plan on getting this loan. Your inspector is going to give you everything that needs to be done to the house. And then from there, right there, you know, that's when you have a purchase and sale agreement that would normally be getting written up from the seller's agent, the seller's attorney.
Right.
And a purchase and sale agreement is the contract. That is the contract that binds everything together. Like once that's signed from both parties, y'all are locked in. Y'all are locked in from there.
So then, cool. Now I got the crib. How we go about it?
Well, you don't got it yet. You got the purchase and sale agreement signed. After the purchase and sales agreement,
there's more shit for me to go through.
Yeah, look. So this.
This is why. You know what I'm saying? Like you see, niggas is really in there. Like, and she said you could request the seller make repairs or lower the house cost. I'd
rather them give the money back at closing, you know, as opposed to lowering the house costs, because it's different tricks of the trade, right? Like, listen, if you ask them to make repairs, they may handyman it, right?
Right.
They may have, you know, I don't know, some random guy that they know
from Home
Depot come and do something right.
Picking up all the Mexicans. Shout out to the Mexicans.
Shout out to the Migos.
But not on this front, y'all can't go. Can't go on this front, man. We need this shit official. We need this on the books, man.
Yeah, but also on top of that, it's like, listen, you may have, it's a little sauce. You may know some people who actually can do the work for you as well, right? And keep it as legal as possible. They can do the work for you, but you know, the seller, they may know somebody that can do the job, you know, for $10,000. You like, nah, look, I want it done right by a licensed contractor, by this, and they've came with the inspection and they said it will cost them $20,000 to get it done. Have them kick you back $20,000 instead of them fixing it for $10,000. Yeah, it's really gonna cost you, you know, $10,000, maybe $8,000 to get it fixed back up, and now you got an additional, you know, $10,000 that you can use to enhance your property. Not fix what was broken, but enhance your property.
Enhance it. You know, so then, right, you said I signed the papers.
Yep, signed your PNS.
Now where I go?
You signed your purchase and sales agreement. From there, you're not quite home yet.
So I can't stunt like bring a bitch through, bitch. That's the new spot.
Not yet.
Can't do that yet.
Not yet. You don't got them keys, for one. You don't get the keys until you close on the property, right? And closing is the very last step. But you know, after your purchase and sales agreement is signed, now it's all paperwork from there. So now you're just waiting for your bank's gonna have to go. For most loans, your bank's gonna have to go and, you know, do an appraisal on the property to make sure that the property is still worth around what they're about to give you.
Right.
So it's mainly at this point it's banks and attorneys doing their job. While they're doing their job, you know, once they're done doing their job, rather, you're basically at the finish line, right?
So I'm almost at the finish line, and it only cost me damn near $1,500
up front so far. Pocket. Well, no, because when you do the inspection, I apologize. When you do the inspection, it all depends on what's in your loan agreement, right? Excuse me, not loan agreement. It was in your offer, right? You may tell them, look, if you accept this offer, we got $1,000 for you, and then at P&S, you'd put down whatever it is you have to pay the bank. The bank's saying you got to put, let's say, 5% down, and let's say this place is, you said it was 280.
270.
270. All right. Let me know if my math's wrong, bro. You the math man. Place is 270. You know you're gonna have to put down 5% for this property, right? We're gonna say 5. I ain't gonna go 3.5 because my math ain't great right now. You gotta do 5% for this $270,000 loan. 13.5. All right. So you gotta put down $13,500 in total in order to get this $270,000 loan. So you put down $1,000 for them to accept the offer. You have left what you got to pay, what, 12? You might not even have to give all that, you know what I'm saying, when the P&S is signed. You can say, like, I got another $5,000 for you once P&S is signed. Right. That $5,000, though, that doesn't go to them. We hold that money. We hold that money for you. So now you paid $6,000 so far out of your pocket. Plus you paid $200 for the inspection if you got somebody who's going to do the inspection for you for $200.
Right.
That doesn't count towards your down payment amount, though. That's separate, right? All
right, so what we at, like 62?
62. Oh, $6,200 right now that you paid. Once that's paid, like I said, and you had your P&S signed, it's mainly paperwork from the attorneys and from the banks. And then you get to a point to where they give you a closing date. But before you even get to that point, I'm going to be on your ass, right? Me, your agent, right? Because right now, we're in a relationship. Right? Like, listen, we're brothers, or we're brothers and sisters, or whatever you identify as. I'm your brother. Regardless, I'm your brother. Change. Yeah, I'm your brother, right? So, I have to make sure that you protect your assets. And what I mean by that is, I got to be on your ass to make sure, look, you didn't apply for no car note. We're waiting. We're almost at the closing table. Don't apply for no new car, right? That's going to mess everything up. Don't apply for no new credit cards. Don't miss any payments. Nothing new should change on your account negatively. It should be all positive stuff. Oh, another month of on-time payments. Great. Another month of on-time payments. Great. Don't miss any payments. Don't apply for anything new.
So you can't do nothing in that moment. In that moment, you gotta really just sit still.
Stay in the house
and just pay shit.
Stay in the house, bro.
Tell them why.
Yeah, because the moment you decide to take you ready. You like, listen. You talking to your people. You can't give it a key to come into the crib yet. Right. But you're like, it's cool. We about to get this. Whip.
Right.
Because we about to get a new house. You gotta get a new whip too, and you get the whip before you get the house. You was approved for that 270. You was.
Yeah, you ain't approved.
Nah, we get
it throws off your debt to income ratio.
Absolutely. So now before you let's say, which is
that's
another
what
thing.
Just said to you, said no furniture, anything.
Anything.
He said don't do nothing.
Right. So when you're getting pre-approved, there's factors in getting pre-approved for a loan, right? And one of the main factors is your debt to income, right? We know there's credit. We know that you had to work, which we didn't get to say, right? To get pre-approved, you gotta have good credit. I would want you to have a 7 or higher, right? But normally a 640 or higher, you'll be approved for a loan, right? But gotta have the credit. For most people, you gotta have 2 years of work history, and your debt to income, depending on what kind of loan you have, has to be 45% or less. And debt to income, to break it down for you, is just if you make $1,000 a month, for the sake of easy numbers, you make $1,000 a month, your debt, meaning like your car note or your credit cards, whatever it is, can't be no more than $450 per month. So if you make $1,000, you can't have any debt more than $450 per month, right? You're making $1,000 a month. So you can time that by 10 if you want. If you're making $10,000 a month, you can't be spending no more than $4,500 a month. Because if you do, you won't be approved for that loan, right? You're paying too much debt. They won't believe that you'll be able to cover what you're going to owe them. So if you take out a car note, let's say your debt to income was already at like a 30, right? And you take out this car note. This car note adds an additional $300. Let's say $300. It don't even matter. Even if it adds an additional $200, it could add an additional $50.
Right.
it's gonna change what your debt to income is. So now you was approved for that $270,
And now you're not.
now you're not. You may be approved for $230 now for that $50. You add an additional, $300. You may be approved for 150, maybe 120.
Sheesh.
Now you screwed.
So you just gotta sit and just
stay in the
wait
house,
it
bro.
out.
Just don't go outside, bro. Everybody was in the house all 2020. You do another 30 days. I'm pretty sure, on the offer, you guys said you're going to close within 35, 45 days. Just stay in the house for those 45 days, man. Don't go out. Don't go to the club. Don't do nothing. Just stay in there. Celebrate after you get the house.
And it ain't even good to, like, charge your credit card or none of that.
No, you can still use it.
You can still use it?
But continue to make on-time payments, right? And one thing I did want to get out there, too, right? Because I know we're off the credit topic. We're on real estate, really. But when it comes to credit, I am a firm believer in using your credit card to make payments. I think you did say this though, Rob. Using your credit card to make payments for like everything, right? Everything. I mean, food, gas, bills, everything. Use your credit card for everything. But at the end of the month, if pay it off in full or near full at the end of every month, or at the end of every billing cycle, right? I'll take that. At the end of every billing cycle, right? You want to pay it off. Reason why? It continues to build your credit.
So now where we at in the cycle of it?
So like I said, we did the PNS. Now the job was for you to sit on your hands, stay in the house, don't go nowhere.
Cool. I did that.
You did that. Now once you've done that,
no pussy, no nothing.
Nothing, bro. Like you hurting, bro. You just rocking. You hurting, rocking.
But I'm about to shine though.
Yo, you gonna shine.
No
right?
bullshit.
Right. So now that's done. We're gonna have to. You're basically gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Our closing date's coming up. We know. Let's say our closing date is for 2 days from now. And I'm like, yo, cuz, we almost there, man. 2 more days, we're gonna close. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a walkthrough, a final walkthrough on the property, to make sure that the property still looks the way that it was when we saw it, right? Because who knows, the seller may be mad, like, damn, I really don't want to sell this place, but I have to. Right. Put some holes in the wall and stuff like that. You don't want that,
right?
Which, by the way, you should have homeowners insurance after that PNS go through too, right? Just for that purpose, because you don't want any damage done to the house. And now it's like, damn, the place is destroyed. I'm getting a house for $270, but it ain't. I gotta put more money into it now, right? So you want to have homeowners insurance. I meant to mention that after the inspection as well. After you sign the PNS, you want homeowners insurance, right? But yeah, so I'm telling you, because we got 2 days. We close on the house, man. Be ready. This is what we're gonna do. We gotta wait until we get the instructions from the attorney. Sometimes from the lender, but they'll let you know, hey, look, we're closing. We're clear to close. And the attorney's gonna let you know, oh, look, we're gonna close at this location. That's the location we're closing. What time we closing? 12, 3, 2. They give you the time you're gonna close. 2 o'clock. Bet. If we're gonna close at 2 o'clock, I now will reach out with you to the seller's agent and let them know, hey, look, we want to do our final walkthrough about 2 hours before closing, depending on how far the property is from where we're closing at. We're going to close 2 hours before closing. We're going to go check out the property. Right. They're going to give us the key. We're going to go, make sure everything's good. Everything looks great still. All right, we good. Because if it doesn't look great, now when we go to the closing, 2 hours from now, we let them know, hey, look, we just went there this morning.
Right. And that shit didn't look straight.
Didn't look right? Another thing, too, right? When you do put in on the PNS, I want it as is, or I want it all the appliances that are there right now and the fixtures, I want it just like that as is, right?
Right.
So let's say they had a washing machine and a dryer there and a nice little chandelier, right? When you saw the place, when you signed the PNS, I want it like this. Just keep everything as is. This is what I seen it as. This is what I wanted as.
Right.
And then we go to do our final walkthrough that morning, and that chandelier is gone and the washer and dryer is gone. You know what we're going to do when we get to the closing table in 2 hours, right?
What we do?
We're going to go there, like, listen, yeah, we went to the house. That washer and dryer wasn't there. The ones that we said we wanted that was in the contract, they're not there. And that chandelier is missing.
Right.
So we're going to need some money back for that at closing so we can get new washer and dryers and a new chandelier. We getting money back for it. Anything that's missing, like, this is a part of the walkthrough, right? And if your agent doesn't do this with you guys, when y'all are working with them, you're working with a buster, right? Find any way to get some money back. Listen, this fixture wasn't there. This light, this chandelier wasn't there. These appliances, the fridge is not there no more. And I got to get a new fridge. Right. I was expecting this fridge to be there. Right. I need a new one now.
Now, is it a must that I do a final walkthrough before closing, or can I go without doing one? Can I just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna show up to closing?
Nah, bro. No, you have to go. You have to do that final walkthrough, bro. It's must. It's a must, bro. Let me ask you a question.
Because you know a lot of people don't know. A lot of people just feel, because that's what I'm saying. When we deal with shit like that, people don't know how to be like, yo, let me go through there again. So people just go with the transition, especially if it ain't a realtor like you that's telling them, yo, even with me, you would have just told me that. Right. I would have probably been like, you got to do the final walkthrough. I can't even do it with you guys. You know what I'm saying? But, people don't be knowing that they can ask these questions. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, I'll say I would want you to go, right? It's like
It's like buying a car and you didn't drive it around the block
to test it out, right?
And then you go to pick it up from off of, say, social media. It don't got an engine in it. Yeah. Bought a lemon. Yeah. Right. So you don't want to do that with a home either.
Yeah. Right. I was also going to say, as a fashion connoisseur like you are, right? He's a fashion connoisseur, right? Really? I don't know about y'all. I know how I am when it comes to this. Like, if you go in to buy a new pair, say sneakers, right? And they come out to you with the box. Do you open the box, look at the sneakers, or do you just take the box and just buy it? You, personally. I know what I do.
Me, personally, I just try it on one foot.
I'm saying, but you open that box.
I don't open up and examine both shoes.
But what I'm saying is, do you open the box when they come out with the shoes, or do you just be like, all right, thank you, and then pay for it? You got to make sure them shoes is in that box, right? It's the same thing with the crib, bro, right? You walking into a whole crib that's gonna be yours. You walking in, what's supposed to be yours isn't there. You gotta see it, bro. Like, you have to. I'm not gonna go without you. If I gotta wake you up early, we can go see it. We there.
Early, you already know. Yeah. So then from there we do the final walkthrough. Everything's good. Shit in the crib. Then we go to closing and what?
Final walkthrough's done. We approve of it. We go to the location that the attorney told us to go do the closing, and you go there with the remainder of the money that you have to pay. Right, we was at 62 that we paid, and we supposed to pay what 13.7, I think. 13.5. Yep. All right, so you paid 6. That 2 don't count, but you paid 6. So now you gotta come with another 7,500 with your cashier's check. A banker's check and a copy of your ID. Sign what we sign.
It got to be a banker's check?
It can't be a personal check. I mean,
it just can't be cash. Like, you just can't be like, here's your 75.
You want a track record, man. You want to have that check, man. It's one thing.
So all you niggas that just think you can pull up with cash, you can't. Nah, man. You might have the cash. You got to go and do it the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah. Get the cashier's check, man. And it builds good habits too, because it's an ill world out here, man. Once you understand the financial game, I would love to tell my story any day. By no means am I Jay-Z, right?
Now, a couple of people was asking what's your story too, so maybe during time we could get into, because let niggas start getting into with you and how you came home, your transition, what made you want to get into this type of, you know what I'm saying? We're still helping niggas out.
It's cool. Now, I'm not Pablo Escobar, but I'm no, just random square at the same time, right? But these are things that we have to get in tune with, right? Like, we got to understand, cash is kind of worthless. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to understand how to utilize and leverage our credit, using these checks to make payments on things. And even with, let's say, I'm going to go back real quick, too, back to the whole Navy Fed thing, right? We talked about secured credit cards, but then there's secured loans as well. Right, and when let's say with Navy Fed, Navy Fed, you got some bread, you got $50,000, $60,000, $100,000, and you can do a secure loan with Navy Federal for that $100,000, and you pay them, $80,000. The next month after the loan, you're taking out the loan, it's approved. So they've kept your $100,000 that you put in the account, but they gave you $100,000 on a loan, and you paid them, $80,000 the next month. Well, you ain't going to have a payment due to 2033. But it's going to show that you made a payment. And then every month you can make small payments, and it's going to show good on-time payments. So the amount of money that is owed now is not that whole $100,000. You only owe $80,000. That's going to look great for your credit. Right. And then you continue making small payments to small payments. And then, let's say a year, 2 down the line, you can pay the remainder of it off. And interest, you probably would have paid maybe a band or 2 in interest, right? But it's worth it, because on your report it looks like you paid off $100,000 loan in a year. You know what I'm saying?
So now we at closing.
Right.
Where we at?
So you at closing. We brought the ID. You brought the checks. Now you're signing. You're signing for the property. You know, you're just signing. For you, you're just signing. You're looking. You're seeing. Okay, there's a sheet called your HUD sheet. It shows where all the money is supposed to go. Hey, look, this much money is going to the escrow. This much money is going to your insurance and taxes escrow. This much money is going to this real estate agent. This much money is going to this real estate agent, to this attorney, to this. You look at your HUD. Make sure everything is right. I'm gonna look at your HUD with you. I want to make sure I'm getting my money right. So I'm gonna look at it. Make sure everything's good. You're gonna sign it once your HUD and everything is all signed. You're almost done, right?
But I'm not done.
Right, you're not done, right? Because you're gonna get your keys.
Right.
You're gonna get your keys.
Still can't go wild.
Nah, we going out. We going out. That's what we're done, right? That's what we done.
Early.
Once you get them keys, you ain't done yet. We gonna go out. We gonna take our pictures. You gonna have our video. You gonna tell your people how I walked you through this whole process and got you a home. You know, like, and it wasn't like. See, people find buying a home. A lot of people, they find buying a home to be stressful at times, right? Because they looking, they can't find. Time's going by. You know, they're like, man, it's too much, man. I'm all set, right?
Right.
My job. I feel like my job is to make it as stress-free as possible, right? Because it shouldn't be stressful.
Right.
And if you buy the right home the first time, multifamily, as we were talking about, it will make you, like, you'll feel that much more pressure off your shoulders because now you got more income coming in. You got income coming in from this 3-family that you have. And I know we were talking about having, like, a unit in the basement, which is it's called an additional dwelling unit.
Right.
And depending on where you live at, like in Boston, you can get a loan for this additional dwelling unit. Normally it's up to like $30,000, but nevertheless, you'd be able to get a loan to there's certain criteria that the basement have to fit. Like it has to be a certain level high. Right. It can't be like less than, I believe it's like 7 feet. You gotta have a certain amount of like exits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're called egresses.
Right.
Correct. Egress. Yeah.
Though
that just means like an exit. Like this
like
door right here is egress. Right. Egress. Bring that money in. Jeez. Nah, but you're done right after we kick it. Right. We ain't done till we kick it. Right. We have to. Right. So, but after we kick it, essentially done.
So then I have the crib. Crib's mine.
Crib's yours. Right. And normally it is your payment. Your first payment isn't due until like not that month coming up, but the month after, right? So if we got the house in April, you won't have to make like your first payment until June.
So then, what do my payment be, like on something like that?
What you said, like $270,000 home?
Right.
But I really can't give you that number. And a mortgage lender, they'll probably tell you they can't give you that number either. And the reason why it just depends on like. This is what I get every time I ask. Like I reach out to my lenders, and they always hit me with this. They'll give me a ballpark number, right? But they be like, "Yo, that's not concrete because the rates change every day." So right now, I can tell you for a $270,000 home, let's say your interest rate is a 3, right? And you put down 10%. Your monthly payments can be, $1,900 a month right now.
Right now.
But let's say the interest rates, shoot up like 0.4%, right? You was paying $1,900, and now you're paying $24. I know what I'm saying? Like these increments matter, bro. So I really can't give you a number, but what I could tell you is you ain't about to be paying, $3,000 per month,
right,
for a $270,000 home. You may not even be paying $2,500 for a $270,000 home. It depends on your credit. And it depends on how much you put down and the interest rate.
Now, say I got this crib, right? Everything's smooth. What is my responsibilities with this crib?
It's yours, man. It's everything. It's your responsibility, man. You gotta make sure, repairs, water, taxes. You gotta stay on them taxes too, man, because the city still they'll try to foreclose on you for not paying taxes as well. So. And
what is that?
Just like property tax, like your taxes on, like if your house is you have an assessor. Right? I don't know if you heard of like assessors. They basically are people who come from the city to assess properties all throughout the neighborhood. And your assessor is going to tell you, not you, but they're going to let the city know, hey, look, this house on this street, we assessed it to be worth $300,000. Even though you bought it for $270,000, we assessed it to be worth $300,000. You have to pay taxes on that $300,000. They're gonna, whatever the tax rate is for property taxes at that time in that area, they're gonna take your home from when you've owned it. Not from, if you got it in April, you're not gonna be paying for January, February, March's taxes. You're gonna be paying from April on out for that year. But
is that in your payment, or is that something separate?
Is that in your mortgage payment?
Right.
Normally it's in your mortgage payments, right? But if you aren't paying your mortgage on time, you know what I'm saying, or you're not paying your full amount of your mortgage, right, then you're screwed. They're gonna come after you for that house, man. So
it's like you have to pay your mortgage, and then your taxes is a separate thing.
Yearly, yeah. Yearly, your taxes are. So how can I say? So at the end of every year, there'll be like an assessment. As I said, the assessors will come through and they'll see how much the house is now worth, or what they think the house is worth. Right. And they'll say, hey, listen, it's a part of your mortgage, but I'm saying every year they're gonna tell you how much the house is worth. So your mortgage may initially had been, like we were talking, your mortgage may have initially been $1,700, but let's say your taxes for the year was $1,200 for the year. Right, so you only had to pay, $100, which is coming out of your mortgage, right? But now let's say your taxes had, the taxes have raised up, and now the taxes are $1,500. Now instead of that $100 that you was paying, now you're paying that difference. Was like $113. It's like $130 or something like that. Like now, but every year your taxes can go up depending on how the economy is doing, how the city you're at, how they're doing. It can go up. And
so then, like, okay, cool. This is my crib. I could do what I want to do. Now, how do I even go about, like, now, my trash? Can I just go take my shit and throw it in the front? Can I put my shit in my neighbor's yard? Like, how I can rock out with, like, you know what I'm saying? Or is it something I got to do?
Every area is different. Every area is different, right? Like, some areas, like, where I live at, it's not for y'all to know where I live at.
But I heard some places you got to get on the trash route.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you got to reach out and, boom,
let them
boom,
know.
boom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where I live at, like, I had to reach out to the company that does the waste management for that town. And, I have to pay them. But
I was getting ready to say that. Is that something you have to pay too?
Yeah, trash. Depending on what kind of like how your water works, your sewer, right? Some people have septic and things like that. Like, you have to pay for your sewer. You gotta pay for your trash, and your water.
Is that all monthly?
Nah, sometimes it's quarterly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, sometimes it's quarterly. Like where I'm at, it's quarterly.
So,
right.
Like, with my trash, just not even saying with you, but, like, my trash, what would I have to pay? Would I pay it every month, every 6 months? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Where's the house at? At the $270,000 house? I'm saying, like, it depends where it's at. Sometimes it's quarterly, sometimes you pay yearly. Yeah, sometimes it's yearly, sometimes it's quarterly. You know what I'm saying? But it depends on where you're at. But you're essentially paying the city. So, like, you're in Boston. Right. I don't think you're gonna find a single family for $270. But if you did,
right, in your dreams,
right, in your dreams, right. But if you did, it'll be the city gonna tax you for it. The city gonna charge you for it.
No, that's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
So on top of that, like, now say in the crib, I have the crib shits moving. My toilet bus. How I go about that, like, you know what I'm saying? Is that something else that now I have to take care of this shit? You know what I'm saying? Or is it somebody I can call that just come fix this shit? Like,
if you gonna pay him, yeah.
How the projects is like, my toilet fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Send Bobo up here.
Absolutely. If you gonna pay Bobo to do it, yeah. Like, it's your responsibility. It don't matter how it gets done. But if you want to use your toilet, you gotta take accountability for it.
So everything in that crib is your responsibility. Like, there is nothing else. Anything happens, shit stop working. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say that because I was with Cuz and his, I think, boiler, something fucked up. And he called somebody, boom, boom, boom. And when he called them, he was kind of in a ballpark of like 2,500, 3 racks. You know what I'm saying? And the dude was like 8 racks, and I was like, "Yo, you gotta pay that shit." He was like, "Yeah," like, and I'm like, "You gotta."
Yep.
We might not be shitting in my house. Like, my house might have an outhouse. Nigga. Fuck. Yo, you know, because I think when people think of, you know, cribs, they don't think of these things.
Right.
Like, so many of us just get lost in that. Right. Now I have a home. But they're not really thinking this shit is your responsibility. There is no maintenance. There is none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is you doing. You're paying the trash route. Yo, the septic tank fucked up. You calling motherfuckers out and getting it done. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything, the motherfucking fence, Kyle, you have to pay for these things. I don't think people realize that this shit is real responsibility. Right. You know, because even the way I had people, I want to get a house and, you know, this, that, and the third. It's like, are you really ready for what come with a joint? You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely responsibility.
Because motherfuckers really think a house is like their apartment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When that shit ain't. Right. That shit real, you know, and even when people be not even knowing nothing about a crib and then jump out and be like, yeah, I want to get like a 4-family. Like,
honestly, look,
you know what I'm saying?
But here's what I would encourage people to do that though, right? Like, get the 4-family.
No, definitely get the information that go with it.
Because it's at the end of the day, it's a business. Even you having a single family, right? This now it's a business, but it's a business that's not making you money. So it kind of makes no sense to go first with a single family. Right. Like you said, something happens. Okay, now you know you got to work doubly hard to get this fixed, right? Whereas with this 4-family, you know, you might have been already collecting, you know, $2,000 a month from these 4 units. Your mortgage is $4,000 or $3,000 a month. You know, you have some money left over. You put some money to the side, of course, for in the event that a boiler or something like that breaks, right? But you say $8,000, you may have that, you know, after about 4 months of collecting rent. You got that to the side in the event that a boiler breaks, right? At the same time, when you buy a place, depending on how old the boiler is, you get a warranty on it, right? If it's a new boiler and it still has a factory warranty on it, you set, right? But the moment it gets to a point to where that factory warranty is no longer valid, you can pay monthly for a warranty, right? But you're not paying for it. Your tenants are paying for it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm making $8,000 a month from this 4 unit, and my monthly payment I got to pay for warranty for the refrigerators, for any central air that I have, for the boiler, for anything, right? For the furnace. It's gonna cost me a total to put a warranty on all. It's gonna cost me a total of, you know, $150 a month or something like that. But that's coming out of the money that you're making from your tenants anyways. You don't have to work extra hard for that. It's coming from your tenants' money anyways. So the moment it does break, you got to still fix. It's your responsibility to get it fixed. Right. But you ain't got to pay for it. You ain't got to go. Warranty got it. Right, you know what I'm saying?
And like that, we just showed y'all how to get a crib. Other niggas show y'all how to cook coke. We show y'all how to get a crib. You know what I'm saying? This is a different type of situation y'all in, man. That's why we told y'all strap up, man. And this is just the first week. We gonna try to get this like every other week coming at y'all. We gonna kick it about nothing but real estate and credit. Next week I want to try. Well, the week after I want to try to get into like the advantages and the disadvantages from a single family and a multi-family. You know what I'm saying? And what is some of those different responsibilities in one? You know what I'm saying? Okay. And try to work people through there. You know what I'm saying? If they on the fence of, should I get a single family? Should I get a like, what is the plus to it? You know what I'm saying? Pros but one thing I wanted to ask both of y'all, because I really think was a dope question, was how do you think having credit helps your kids?
You want to take that one, or you want me to snap on it? I can snap on it, man. You want, man.
I'm gonna say my part, and he's gonna take it over. But pretty much, it's a secret that we haven't been using for years that other families been doing. Where so, like he was saying earlier, you can add children as authorized users, and by the time they hit 18, 21, they got 5-6 years of credit history. Now they can go get their own credit card with $10,000 on it, and then teach them to be responsible, and they're already off to the races. So when they already become a homeowner or get a car or anything in that nature, they got like a 750, 760 credit score to where that they're gonna still be paying the bare minimum of interest rates where they inherit it, and yet it's like a blessing. Like other coaches been doing it. Even for myself, working in a retail environment for many years, I've seen young kids come in the store with American Express metal cards.
Right.
How old are you? 19.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 28. I don't got a metal card.
Right.
But I learned over time, like, how did he get it? I began investing in information.
And the information, right.
And that's how they got it.
Yep.
So
Listen, as I said, man, when I say things, these are things that I've experienced, right? I'm not giving you no theories. This is what I experienced. So me personally, I added my daughter's brother onto my Navy Federal account, right? And added him onto a card as well. And he went and I was like, it's time to apply for a credit card, right? Because he's on my account now. His credit done shot up. Right? He's on my account, right? And he applied for a card, and it's his first card. He's 18.
Right.
His first card, he got approved for about $11,000, I believe. So my thing now is, I gave him the game on how to use the card. I'm letting him know, listen, what you're approved for is kind of that's what your value is, right? Because the bank thinks that you're worth investing $11,000 into. But what I'm telling them is, depending on how much money you would make per month or how much money, we'd give you or anything like that,
right.
That's what you should be spending on your credit card so you can pay that off in full by the end of the month. Now, if he just so happened, as a kid, right, if he just so happened to blow through that $11,000 because he want to stunt with his friends, he about to go to college next year,
right.
He want to stunt with his friends in college and, ball out at the club, and he blast that $11,000, that's cool. He gonna have to deal with it for a few years, but we're gonna get that taken right off his credit report right after, and he's gonna go right back to where he was. He's still gonna be on my authorized user account, so his credit's still gonna be fine. But we're gonna get rid of that debt that he had. But I ain't gonna tell him that, right?
Right.
But right now, I'm trying to instill in him, like, be responsible.
Right.
So, adding your kids onto your credit card when they're young, I think it's not only necessary, I think it's mandatory, honestly, bro. It's mandatory. It doesn't necessarily mean that they got to use your card, but the fact that you're helping them get a credit profile so early, I'm a firm believer of not using debit cards at all. Like, don't even have a debit card. It makes no sense. Have your credit card, and if you need to make payments, take a little bit of cash with you outside every day in case you need to pay for something that can only take cash, but use your credit card for everything. It then paid off at the end of the month. That's what I instill in this kid. Hopefully he follows it. If he decide to take 11 bands and hit Magic City with all the Cape Verdeans from Brockton, then it's on him, man.
It's gonna be on him.
It's on him, yeah. But he'll be alright though. He's young. He got his whole life. He'll be right. Trust me. So
no, I definitely dig that because I think that was a good question, and I think, like he said, the dopest shit we could do is start passing this shit down.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because we realized that we was the kids shit wasn't passed down to. And we look at how much that would have been a head start. A lot of us probably would have went different ways. You know what I'm saying? You look how we're all creative now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what the fuck we would have did if we would have had a head start towards something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So definitely with that, like, I think that's big with getting people to change them things. Yo, now let me put my kid on my card, and my kid 12, by the time he 18, be straight. You know what I'm saying? Or, and that's what a lot of different races do. That's why them kids be in college with them type of cards you talking about, moving freely with that joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything be good money because people done set that up in place ready for them. And I think we don't do enough preparing. You know what I'm saying? For our kids.
Facts.
One last thing, and we gonna get up out of here.
Okay.
Can I buy a crib personally if I'm a felon?
Definitely. Right? Definitely, you can buy a crib if you're a felon. Now, some banks don't have to accept you, right? Depending on what kind of felony you have, but you call big bro Moom, right? And Moom, in particular, works with people who have been incarcerated anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Moom was incarcerated. Moom came home. Moom became a real estate professional. Moom decided that he wanted to put on other people who's been incarcerated, like, exclusively, right? I'll work with anybody, but I really want to see people who's been incarcerated show that they aren't what their history shows, right? So you definitely can buy a home while you're a felon. And as a matter of fact, I myself, since I do work with people who have been incarcerated, I give grants to people up to $8,000 that they can use towards their closing costs so they can buy a home. If you're a felon. If you're not a felon,
that shit perked your interest, nigga.
Yeah.
That nigga look right up. That
Right.
nigga said $8,000.
yeah,
Hold me down, nigga.
Facts. If you
Hold me down, baby.
if hold me down, baby.
No
if you haven't been
bullshit.
incarcerated though, I do give grants to
Watch how
to
many
people for
jail niggas be
$4,200.
reaching out to this nigga. No bullshit.
I'm here, man. I'm
But
here.
nah, that is something that's good to know. And I was telling niggas that, like, yo, he got something going on where, you know, motherfuckers with felon, if you really serious, he can help you, like he said, get to $8,000. You know what I'm saying? To where you said what, 8,000 towards a closing fee?
Yep, 8,000.
Shit,
towards
that
closing
just
fee.
wiped away everything we just damn near counted
Absolutely.
up. Off that,
You
what,
wouldn't even have to-
13.5?
You wouldn't even have to pay that full 13.5.
So you
bro.
would have damn near paid like 5.
Probably
you know
more
what
than
I'm
that.
saying?
You know, it's
Well, with little taxes
Yeah,
and shit,
yeah. But yeah, I
you
can
wouldn't
say
have
that.
to pay that 13.5. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So,
Right.
motherfucker, that's something else to even think about. That shit perk motherfuckers' interest and boost it more. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, that's
So you
what
didn't tell me in the
it
story.
is.
In the story, you didn't tell me you was a felon. You just said you were trying to buy a home. You know what I'm saying? I thought you was talking as if you was a regular person. If you would have said, "Yeah, I'm a felon. I want to buy a home for $270," I'd have like, "What? Man, I got this grant for you, my boy." You
Right.
didn't say that, so we ain't throw it out there. But yeah, that grant's there for you guys. You know what I'm saying?
And like
Sure.
I said, fuck with him, man. Like I said, he just told y'all he got ways to, really help y'all out. So if you really looking for help, he got it. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be on board. You got to be serious. You know what I always say, don't waste nobody's time. Time is valuable. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing we can never get back is this time. You know what I'm saying? So definitely if you going to use a nigga's time, use it wisely. You know what I'm saying? But tell them where they can reach you at.
Yeah. So anywhere you type Eric Moom Vic on Facebook, that's me. On Instagram, you can find me at List 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 with Vic VICK. Find me on there. Ultimately, just go to ericvic.com and start looking at some properties, and I'll find you that way, right? Just go to ericvic.com, start looking at properties, and I'll know that you was looking for properties, and I'll contact you. So that's where we at.
And where could they reach you at, cuz?
They can reach me on Instagram at Robert_Griffin Jr. As well as on Facebook. If you type in Robert Griffin Jr., I'm gonna pop up, and you're gonna see me in a shiny, brown with some glasses. So I'm on there.
Yeah.
Early. And now get into it, man. Get familiar. Like I said, they're going to be coming at y'all every other week. We going to have things like this, different treats. Y'all know how I am. I bug the fuck out. When it's just me, it's whatever. You're going to get a bunch of ratchet shit. But, when cousin them come up here, we going to try to do this the right way and bring y'all some information. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a lot of shit that I feel y'all need. But I do want to ask one more question.
That's fine. And make sure that when y'all come back,
oh yeah,
make sure y'all got questions
ready.
Yeah, how y'all
I
questions
think
ready.
no bullshit motherfuckers was fucking with us in and out. Everybody dropping questions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure a way the way you can see it yourself, so
Okay.
you'll be able to answer it.
Okay.
Maybe we'll put it on the joint.
All right.
Because we could have just had it up there live. I didn't even think about it. But when you come back, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll be able to get deep into it. But I did want to say, since you've been home and you've been dealing with it, how many people have you helped get a crib?
In general or felons?
Not just in general.
Well, I've been dealing mostly with like investors, right? As far as like general people who do want to buy a home,
Right.
I'd say it's been more than 12.
Dope.
More than 12, less than 20. Just general people. I've been dealing mostly with people who invest, right? People who have the cash. If you don't have the credit, but you try and get a house, and you got some cash, I got you. But you ain't gonna be able to get it the traditional way that everybody else do it, right? So that's why I don't really count them. So those been the people mostly that I've been helping. Just make sure y'all come to me with all legit stuff. Don't come to me talking about, can you clean, mama? That's not what I'm here for.
Niggas ain't cleaning no
I'm not
money.
here for that.
Cuz just told you he just came home from the feds.
Y'all trying to send
He
me
ain't
back?
fucking with it. Like, don't call him with none of that shit.
Don't call me about that.
No
Just tell
illegal
me.
shit.
None.
Don't hit him with it.
None of
Everything official. He can help you out.
Right.
If
know
you
what I'm
got cash. But like he said, niggas ain't cleaning cash.
Right.
Niggas ain't finding another way to turn that into cash. None of that shit.
Just come to me. Let me know you're ready to buy a house, and we're gonna help you buy a house. Straight like that.
Early.
Yeah.
Thank everybody for coming out that fucked with us, yo. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that got something going on. And we back at y'all.
Say less.